Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So I'm at the park with the Phantom 4 and today we're going to do a parachute drop test. And for this one here, I've got Spawn action figure. So this is going to be kind of cool. I'm going to just clip him to this drop mechanism I got from, I believe it's You Buy We Ship sent this to me. And it's basically a 3D printed drop mechanism where you actually have to put it on the bottom of one of your front lights and you have to black tape it up, so it's kind of a ugly looking installation, but there actually is a 3D printed clip to put on the bottom of the motor which looks a little nicer. So I ordered one of those and I'm going to get one of those, but anyway, I'll have the links on that in the description of where you can get that. So what we're going to do is just kind of launch this guy, clip this to the bottom of it. And this is the parachute from the X4 Pro, the Hubsan X4 Pro. And what this does is once you arm it, if this thing drops and reaches like a 90-degree angle, the parachute canister, it pops out. So this guy's going to be our little test dummy. I got him kind of rigged up, holding on to the drop mechanism, kind of cool. So this will be neat. So let's go ahead and get started with this drop test. What I did is I have the right trigger button on the bottom here rigged for the drop mechanism. So this is the little guy here. If I click that trigger in again, you'll see it open. So that's it right there. It's just a servo opening the drop mechanism. Cool. So I'll go ahead and record the camera on the drone so you can kind of see footage from both angles, from my hat cam and also from the drone. So let's go ahead and take off. Okay, so what I want to do is just kind of get this thing at eye level. It's nice and calm right now, so it should be perfect. But I want to go ahead and click this trigger, open up the drop mechanism. See it open up there? And I want to go ahead and click this guy, Spawn, our volunteer, right in here. I want to be very careful of the propellers, that they do not touch me. The Phantom 4 is really good at keeping its point in space. And I want to go ahead and put him up there and then go ahead and close this up. So I just click the button. So he's hanging off there. What I forgot to do is arm this thing. So let me go ahead and arm this. So I'm going to hold in this button. Kind of got away from me there. And I need to pull out this pin. So this thing is armed, but I just need to pull out this pin. Okay, so the parachute, if it reaches 90 degrees, it's going to deploy. So I don't recommend doing that while it's in the air. I should have done that out of the air. So now we got some wind coming from this direction. Well, let's go ahead and try this. So I'm going to start recording. Whoa, the wind's just kind of gusting now. But there he is. Spawn's kind of hanging there. Kind of funny. Let me go ahead and start recording the video. Cool. So video's recording. And I'll have that up on the screen. You can see I'm pitching down. And we can kind of see him swinging underneath it there. When we drop him, we'll be able to see that really good. So anyway, I'll just keep it kind of pointed down for now. Now let's go ahead and lift it up slowly. I really hope this works. This will be really cool. I did this test with the Phantom 3 once, and it worked pretty good. Whoa. Definitely don't want to get it 90 degrees yet, or else that parachute will deploy. Anyway, there we go. So we're up there, and I want to make sure the wind is not too heavy. I can kind of feel the wind blowing this way now. It's kind of blowing all over the place. Whoa. I don't know what's going on. I guess it's maybe having some interference from the module, or maybe it's too heavy. Kind of getting a little squirrely. Anyway, let's go ahead and drop this thing. So I'm recording. You can see me down there. I'm going to go ahead and click that trigger I set up for the release mechanism. And here we go. Clicking it now. Dropping. Parachute. Boom. There we go. So that was awesome. You see that? So that was a full-on successful drop test. And the drone's still up there. So that was way cool. Wish I could have tracked it, but there's the parachute over there with the Phantom camera. So that was a full success. Totally awesome. So parachute deployment is completely possible with little mechanisms like this. And real quick, I'm going to kind of show you how I set this thing up. All it is, it's in the options for this little trigger to click. And you go into, I believe it was controller. And you see over here how you can turn off and on the front LEDs, and you can designate it to the C2 button or the C1 trigger button if you wanted to. You just go into this menu and you can kind of pick whatever you want it to do. So I just set it to turn off and on the front LEDs, and it is a light sensor. So when they switch off, you see how they're not on now up there. Only the green back is blinking. That's what it does. So pretty neat, I have to say. Okay. So getting out of this, and I'll just go ahead and click it to close it, and you'll see the lights come back on the Phantom 4 up there. Let me bring it down a bit. So the front lights will come back on when I click this right trigger. See that? So that's all it is, just a light sensor. There's a lot of them available right now, but I'm just testing the one from ibuyurush.com, and again, I will have that link down in the description so you can check that out. But it works pretty good. I'm not sure how much weight it would be able to carry, but you know, for fishing or whatever you wanted, looks like it works pretty good. The Phantom 4 did get a little bit squirrely, as you can see, with that Hubsan X4 Pro parachute drop mechanism, but not too bad. Awesome. So Spawn was a great sport, and this thing worked perfectly. And all it is it's a little canister with a packed parachute with a spring-loaded release mechanism. The servo just unlatches and the parachute pops out, and you know what, it's basically a safety mechanism for the X4 Pro. If the thing tumbles out of the sky and reaches 90 degrees, that's the only time, or more, that's the only time this thing will deploy. So it's got a little accelerometer in here, so pretty neat. If I can, I'll go ahead, if I can find it, I'll go ahead and link this also in the description if you wanted to get your own little parachute. It's a pretty neat parachute. It's basically a parachute material, pretty durable, and this has lasted a long time. I've had it packed for like 6 months, and this is the first time I've actually used it in 6 months after that other deploy test I did with the Phantom 3. But there you go. So the Phantom 4, you can also do remote drop mechanisms, and that was just kind of an example of what you could do with this one. I think this is kind of a cheaper one of the bunch. And let's go just kind of look a little bit more in depth on this one real quick. So it's got this toggle switch on the bottom to turn it off and on. It does have a micro USB port on the top where you can charge the internal battery. And I got the white version, which is actually glow in the dark. So there's a black version and a white version. I opted for the white version. So if you have it in some light and then it's nighttime, this thing will glow, all this white part here. And it just bolts up to the arms of the Phantom 4. And all you're doing is routing the light sensor across. This is pretty rudimentary installation. You could use white tape or something to make it match. And you're just basically putting the light sensor right up against the light and covering everything about the light, so no sunlight can get in there. Of course, if the sunlight hits it, it's not going to work correctly. So you have to have that dark, so it just activates on these lights on and off. Like I said earlier, there is a 3D printed clip that I went ahead and ordered that actually just clips right on, so you don't have to tape anything up. And it's white, so it looks nice and clean here. All you gotta do is tape this wire a couple times, bolt this up, and there you go. Here's the servo mechanism, and it does the release, the drop there. So I'd imagine you could do, you know, a couple pounds and this would hold it. It seems pretty sturdy. You can tug on this, and this thing is definitely sturdy. It's not going to break off or anything, so pretty neat. Anyway guys, I hope you liked that review. I do a lot of reviews like this, so go ahead and check out my channel. I think you like it, and I also do a lot of giveaways. And so go ahead and check it out, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.